Have you ever wanted to recreate glow-in-the-dark effects in your polymer clay sculpting? Well, I have, and the first time I tried it, I was a little disappointed in the results. So I've looked into some other products, and I have a bit of a review and a demonstration for you of glow-in-the-dark powders from Polymer. Hey there, creative people, Sandy here. Welcome to another Friday Findings video at KeepsakeCrafts.net. So a couple of years ago, I made these little lamp posts for a tutorial for Polymer Cafe magazine. Sadly, there I am, Polymer Cafe has gone out of print. So I have been taking those tutorials and making them into PDFs in my Etsy shop. And when I revisited this project, I remembered that I was kind of disappointed in these. I think they're absolutely adorable. I love the way my sculpting came out. Well, let me show you what I mean by the disappointment. I have turned off all the lights in my room, and there's the glow. It's pretty faint, and as you watch, it is fading. Fading, fading, fading. It's very sad. And disappointing, because these would be so much fun to put out in a little fairy garden. Let me turn the lights back on. And have them glow part of the night anyways, if not all night long. That would be fantastic. So I looked into some other products. First of all, let me show you what these are made out of. I used the glow-in-the-dark clay from this Sculpey kit. It comes with 4 glow-in-the-dark colors, and it says it's 6 pieces, but sadly 2 of the pieces are solid black and solid white, which I thought was kind of a bummer. But they're baked the same way that any other Sculpey clay is, as a rule, 275 Fahrenheit, 15 minutes per quarter inch. Some is 30 minutes per quarter inch. One thing I did not like about this clay was it was squishy. I remember barely getting these very, very thin petals sculpted. They were just so difficult to manage. Very squidgy clay. I didn't enjoy working with it. So now it's time to put up that tutorial, and I want to be able to suggest to the folks who would like to make one of these for themselves a better alternative. If you want to know more about glow-in-the-dark and all the science behind it, Ginger Davis Allman has written a really interesting article over at the Blue Bottle Tree, and she reviews some other glow-in-the-dark powders and tells you all kinds of interesting things about it. But I'm not going to do that today. I just have these 3 glow-in-the-dark powders from Polymer. I have aqua, green, and purple, and I'll show you my results. What I did was I mixed them all with some Pardo translucent clay. You definitely want to mix these with translucent so that the glow can shine through. It just wouldn't make sense to mix them with a solid color. The directions on here say to mix 1 vial with 2 ounces of clay. I didn't need to mix an entire package of clay, and I didn't want to use all my powders, so it was kind of guesswork. So what I have here are a few samples. This is the Sculpey set, the 4 colors of glow-in-the-dark that came in that set. And this is samples of the Pardo, I think green, blue, aqua, and purple that I mixed. And I mixed varying amounts of the powders. One thing, I just reread Ginger's article today. I probably should have read it before I started playing, because she made a great suggestion. These powders are very, very drying to the clay. You can just practically feel it drying out as you're mixing it in. It's tricky, it's kind of messy. You mix it in, and then it gets all crumbly. Pardo is already a little crumbly. She suggests adding some liquid clay or clay softener, which I think is a very smart idea. It helps the powders stick down so they don't make such a mess, and it helps keep the clay from drying out. So for my first set of samples, I just spread, and this is the aqua, so I'll just put that on here. I just spread basically enough that would stick to my sheet of clay. on and then mixed it in. And I'm not going to demonstrate mixing it in because you can figure that out for yourself. For the second sample, I mixed in probably about a quarter of the vial. It's hard to gauge from these because most of it's covered with this sticker. But I mixed a fair amount, probably about a full scoop, which is maybe half a teaspoon, I'm not being real scientific here. But I mixed a lot more in one of these samples is what I'm trying to say. So let me turn out the lights and I'll show you the results I got from that. Now none of these are baked, so the effects would probably be more glow in the dark because, of course, the clay turns more translucent once baked. So you can see the ones in the middle from Sculpey are definitely, they glowed and then they're immediately fading back. You can tell the ones that I mixed more in, they have just a slightly, ever so slightly brighter glow, with the exception of the purple, which is glowing a tiny little bit. You can see it against the white tile. It has the faintest glow, but it's not nearly as bright. The green is definitely the brightest, and then the aqua. So you can see that the ones with more powder, and it's in this lower row, are the ones that I have more on. In fact, let me just shake off. Let's flip that over. There. So you definitely, the more powder you mix in, the stronger the glow is that you get. I did find that after about an hour, these were pretty much all faded. So these glow-in-the-dark powders, I would say, are, yes, absolutely a better alternative to the Sculpey set. If you already own the Sculpey set, go ahead and use the colors, and you can just mix powders into them. Now, I have not looked into any of the other glow-in-the-dark products out there. I would be interested in hearing what your experience is with them, what you've found, what works. There's paints, there's other companies that manufacture powders. There was another one that I came across, but they didn't say how long the glow lasted. There's also tapes, there's spray paints. So if you want to get your polymer clay to glow for a little bit longer, you can try using the powders, use more for a brighter glow, and this will just give you slightly better results. So I hope that you found this helpful and interesting. Again, I open up the discussion to you. I would love to hear what you have to say and what your experiences are with glow-in-the-dark products for your polymer clay, or anything really. If you're interested in any of these supplies, click on the little I card in the upper right of the video, or there's a link in the description box to go to my blog post where I always have a supply list with links to products. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Take a peek at my Patreon page for how you can get bonus tutorials for yourself, up to 2 every month. Thank you for watching. Happy creating. Bye-bye.